She has already looked into them and knows all about their nefarious behavior against Yuya. She goes on to tell Yuya that their academy emphasizes personality rather than just academics, so it would be no problem for him to enroll. Her attendant suggests showing him the academy, so she pulls him away, and they head off, while his siblings can't believe what happened. They arrive at the academy, and it's a famous school filled with students that excel. He meets with the chairman Tsukasa, who thanks him for saving his daughter. Yuya says it wasn't a big deal, but Kaori says he was the only one that helped her. Tsukasa invites him to join the school, even offering to pay his tuition as thanks for helping his daughter. But Yuya is hesitant, thinking he won't fit in, because only geniuses are normally accepted. Tsukasa says that geniuses are just normal people that have found the right way to work hard and use less time, but Yuya thinks they are gifted with talent. Tsukasa tells him that everyone has their own talents, and through challenges and having fun, he will eventually learn what his talents are, saying that he is still young. He suggests Yuya to try out the school for a day. A teacher named Sawada enters, and Tsukasa introduces her as a renowned scientist, but her classes are popular and easy to understand. Yuya prepares for his first class, and worries he isn't over his head, but he thinks that things couldn't be worse than at his normal school. He gets called in, and he introduces himself, but all the students appear stunned. He worries about what they think of him, but they are all actually stunned by how handsome he looks. He takes a seat at the back, and he shares a book with the girl next to him, but she is a bit cold toward him, and he worries that she already hates him. Kaori wonders if Yuya will fit in his class, and as the class goes on, he actually finds the class pretty normal, except the students are much more active and engaged. During their break, a bunch of students try to get to know him, asking questions like if he is an idol and if he has a girlfriend. A student named Ryo stops them from harassing him, and he takes Yuya to the cafeteria to get some lunch. Yuya is amazed seeing the menu, and it's all free, so Yuya thinks it's like a dream. They sit with another student named Shingo. They start talking about anime, and Yuya is surprised they are just like him. As he eats, he notices that everyone is looking at him, and he thinks it's because he is wearing a different uniform. Shingo asks him if he is in any clubs, but Yuya says he is not a part of any. Ryo is also not in a club, but it's because he is good at all kinds of sport and has trouble picking just one. Shingo reveals he is part of the gaming club, and Yuya is surprised there are allowed consoles at school, but Shingo says it's fine as long as they don't play during class, and as they talk about video games, Yuya becomes more comfortable with them. At the end of the day, he meets with Tsukasa and admits that he had a good time, and Yuya decides he wants to join the school. As he leaves the room, he runs into Kaori, who wonders if he is joining the school. He tells her his decision, and she is glad he decided to stay. She invites him to join her after school, and they check out some shops in a popular area. Yuya wonders if this is where she hangs out with her friends, but she reveals that she doesn't hang out too often because people seem to be hesitant about her family and her father. But she says that he is different. Yuya gets nervous, so he suggests checking out the crepe shop. Looking at the prices, he is glad he has been cashing out from the other world. As they try the crepes, they both have a good time, and Yuya wants to try the other flavors, but he suddenly thinks that if he eats too much, he might return to his original shape. He asks Kaori how she recognized him when he looked so different, but she says that although he is a bit slimmer, she recognized him because his eyes still look the same. She offers him a bite of her crepe since he wanted to try other flavors, so he takes a bite, but is a bit embarrassed. She suddenly realizes how he is feeling, but he also offers her a bite. She nervously accepts it, taking a bite, and some girls watch on, thinking they are super cute together. Later that night, Yuya decides to head back to the other world, putting on a full set of armor. He heads inside, confronting the monsters that appear. Even though he is still scared, he cuts them down, and sees he has leveled up to 235, but realizes that the speed he is leveling at has become much slower. So he thinks about leaving his house to find stronger monsters to fight. Thinking of his time at the academy, Yuya wants to find a new challenge. But as he heads out his gate, he suddenly hears a scream. He pulls out his spear and rushes toward the scream. He finds a number of soldiers that were brutally killed. He notices a monster, and it's a level 200 goblin general. Yuya can tell it is dangerous, but he sees a girl behind it. He throws his spear at it, but the goblin deflects it. However, in that moment, Yuya comes crashing down with his foot, and the goblin is defeated. He turns toward the girl, but she calls out to him because there is another goblin behind him. He gets blown away, and he can tell that it is both stronger and faster than him. But Yuya doesn't give up, thinking he has other strengths. He uses his spear to vault over the goblin, and he switches to his bow, launching a barrage of arrows. He then switches again to his sword, and splits the goblin in half. He checks up on the girl, wondering about the other humans in this world, but she ends up fainting, and he hears some men approaching, so he uses an invisibility skill to avoid them. There are knights that come looking for the girl, and we learn she is a princess named Lexia. Back at his house, Yuya thinks about the encounter, wondering if the girl was okay. But since there were knights that appeared to help her, he thinks she should be okay. Looking at his shirt, he thinks that he should try buying some new clothes, since he has made some money from the other world. We see a mall, and as Yuya walks around, people stare at him, thinking he must be some kind of actor or model. His shirt is enchanted to stay clean, but he thinks he should buy some other clothes, so he doesn't always look the same. Meanwhile, we see a director yelling at another man. The man is the manager for a model named Sho, but Sho hasn't turned up for their shoot. The manager gets a call from Sho and learns he is on his way. But the director gets mad because Sho isn't respecting the time of everyone there who are all ready for the shoot. Especially Miyu, their other model who has been waiting all morning. The theme of the photo shoot is focused around being a couple, so it's impossible to shoot it without him. The director thinks about what they should do, and since everyone is waiting around to start, he decides to look for a replacement within the mall. As Yuya shops around, he is overwhelmed by the number of choices. He is approached by some girls, and he worries it's a sales tactic. They ask to know more about him, and even offer to help him shop. He doesn't want them to feel bad, so he turns them down as politely as possible. The girls are left stunned, and they start freaking out over him, but Yuya wonders if he dealt with them in the right way. The director struggles to find a replacement, but tells his assistant they can't give up. They pass by Yuya, and the director instantly thinks he is the one. Yuya gets approached, and the director explains their situation to him. Yuya is nervous to do it, but he thinks about all the people who are counting on him, and he ends up agreeing to be their model. He acts as the boyfriend for their shoot, taking photos in a range of different outfits and positions. The director tells him to look sexier, but Yuya struggles with the direction. But Miyu tells him he is doing well for his first time, and Yuya is captured by her looks. She thanks him for saving them, but Yuya notices her getting closer to him. The director notes that Yuya is looking kind of stiff. They move to their next location,